U.S. President Donald Trump has announced that the United States has chosen a design for its future missile defense system named the Golden Dome, affirming that the system will be operational before the end of his current term. Just days after returning to the White House in January 2025, Trump unveiled his intention to deploy the system in response to next-generation aerial threats to the U.S., including ballistic and cruise missiles. An initial budget of $25 billion has been allocated in a new budget bill, although government estimates suggest the actual cost over the coming decades will be significantly higher. Trump also announced that General Michael Gayline of the U.S. Space Force will oversee the project. Currently, Gayline serves as the Deputy Commander of Space Operations for the Space Force. 7 days into his second term, Trump ordered the Department of Defense to draft a plan for a system capable of deterring and defending the U.S. against aerial attacks, which, according to the White House, remain the most catastrophic threat facing the nation. Speaking from the Oval Office on May 20, Trump said the system will use next-generation technologies across 3 domains: land, sea, and space, including sensors and interceptors placed in orbit. He also revealed that Canada has expressed interest in joining the project. During a previous visit to Washington earlier in the year, Canada's then Defense Minister Bill Blair confirmed his country's interest in participating in the U.S. initiative, calling it a logical move that serves Canada's national interest. Blair added, "Canada needs to know what is happening in the region, and must be able to identify incoming threats, including those in the Arctic." Trump further stated that the system would be capable of intercepting missiles launched from the other side of the world or from outer space. The system draws partial inspiration from Israel's Iron Dome, which has been used by Tel Aviv to intercept rockets and missiles since 2011. However, the Golden Dome will be much larger in scale and designed to counter a wider range of threats, including hypersonic weapons that exceed the speed of sound and fractional orbital bombardment systems, FOBs, capable of releasing warheads from space. All of them will be intercepted mid-air, Trump said. The success rate will be nearly absolute. U.S. officials have previously stated that the Golden Dome will allow for missile interception at various stages of deployment, including pre-launch and while airborne. All components of the system will be managed by a centralized command unit, according to U.S. defense officials. Also on May 20, Trump noted the project will require an initial investment of $25 billion, with an overall projected cost of $175 billion over time. The initial $25 billion is expected to be included in his big, beautiful tax overhaul bill. Congress has not yet passed this bill. However, the Congressional Budget Office, CBO, estimates that the government could end up spending significantly more, up to $542 billion over 20 years, for the space-based portion of the system alone. Pentagon officials have long warned that current systems cannot keep pace with advancements in missile technologies developed by Russia and China. "There really is no system right now," Trump said in the Oval Office on May 20. "We have some missiles and limited missile defense systems in place at certain points, but there is no comprehensive system. Nothing like this has ever existed before." A new briefing document released by the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, also noted that missile threats will grow in both scale and sophistication, while China and Russia are actively developing systems to exploit vulnerabilities in defenses, Russia, China, and SpaceX. Earlier in May, Russia and China warned that the Golden Dome missile defense system proposed by Donald Trump would destabilize global security and turn outer space into a new arena for armed confrontation. The recently announced large-scale Golden Dome for America program is seriously destabilizing, the two countries stated in a joint declaration during Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit to Moscow. The U.S. plan clearly implies a significant expansion of the arsenal for conducting military operations in outer space, the statement added. These remarks came as Xi arrived in Moscow to attend the 80th anniversary commemorations of the end of World War II alongside Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump unveiled the Missile Shield Plan in March, citing Israel's Iron Dome as inspiration, although experts have noted that defending the entire United States would be vastly more complex and expensive than protecting a country the size of New Jersey, like Israel. In addition, Democratic lawmakers have recently raised concerns about the bidding process and the role of SpaceX, led by Elon Musk, a close ally of Trump, which has emerged as a leading candidate alongside two other American companies, Palantir and Anduril, to build key components of the system. This new-era space-age automated defense ecosystem has more to do with Silicon Valley than with the metal giants, said Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota at a White House event. The good news is this opens up opportunities for everyone to participate and compete. The term metal giants refers to traditional defense contractors. Trump said that Alaska will play a critical role in the program, while Florida, Georgia, and Indiana will also benefit. Many of the initial systems are expected to be produced on existing manufacturing lines. At the press conference, several potential contractors were named for this massive project, including L3Harris Technologies, Lockheed Martin, and RTX Corp. L3 has invested $150 million to expand its facility in Fort Wayne, Indiana, where satellites equipped with sensors for tracking hypersonic weapons and ballistic missiles are produced. This is part of the Pentagon's broader effort to enhance detection and tracking of hypersonic threats from space. These satellites could be adapted to integrate with the Golden Dome system. However, funding for Golden Dome remains uncertain. Republican lawmakers have proposed an initial $25 billion investment as part of a broader $150 billion defense spending package. Yet that funding is tied to a controversial reconciliation bill currently facing multiple hurdles in Congress. If the reconciliation bill doesn't pass, the funding for Golden Dome may not materialize, said an industry executive monitoring the program, speaking on condition of anonymity. This could disrupt the entire project timeline.